Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Cobra Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by Transcending History and the World, a tale of Mikeys and swords, eternally retold. Yo! Hey Mikey.
I don't know where to go from this one.
What do you mean?
You put me in a bind here.
You are the Ivy of this podcast, Mikey.
You put me in a bind.
No, I've put you in a bondage. I put you in a bondage, Mikey.
That does explain the sore shoulder.
Does it explain the rashes upon your cracks and your crevices?
And to be honest, I've been wondering why this ball gag was sort of wrapped around my eyes this long.
Well, you know.
It clearly slipped up.
I clearly decided I wanted to dress you up like Voldo.
But why my eyes?
You'll need to ask Voldo why his eyes are the way they are. What a bizarrely done character. I do like Soul Calibur, though. It's neat.
Yes, I saw you getting excited. I saw you getting excited. I didn't even know there was a new one.
Yeah, it seems to be a retelling of the second game, seemingly, which is good, because it gotten a bit messy. So I've been poking my friend Chris, being like, hey, buddy, you should probably get this game so I can play it to see if I like it. He's like, I don't know, it seems like it'll be 50 quid. I'm like, oh, but you probably enjoy... What else do you have to play? You don't have any more event cards for PUBG, do you? So, no, do this. Now, you could be saying, well, why don't I get it? I don't want to roll that risk. Let somebody else do it for me. How about that? But we're not here to talk about Soul Calibur. We're here to talk about Transformers, Mr. Mikey, though there is very little this week, as it tends to be when we come off a big haul of stuff in a convention. When you agree?
Yes, I think TFCon's coming up soon as well, though.
It should be, yeah, because it's in October, so within the next
couple of
2 weeks or something, I would guess. So that's good.
We should have something, assuming like the third party are sitting on some stuff.
Don't they usually hold something though for this TFCon? Because usually they do a big dump and they show a lot of that for the
bloody slideshow.
Yeah, we'll need to go through it all and be like, did we talk about this last time? I don't know. Did we? I don't know. Because I think we've done that for the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, because they don't know how to do a slideshow. Just like, listen, we've got like 500 slides in 40 minutes. I have issues with it.
You know who's at fault here? The news sites. The news sites need to be cleaning that up and being like, this is the new stuff.
I was going to say Chris, but that's just because...
I mean, yeah, well, there's that too. I mean, clearly there's that. But Mikey, let me tell you about some crappy news this week. Because we've got 2 bits of clothing items. High-end clothing items, I might add. So there's going to be Transformers X Puma sneakers. Puma? How do you like to say? Do you like to say Puma or Puma?
It's a Puma.
I like to say Puma too. So, the Puma X Transformers range will be sold exclusively at Foot Locker stores. More details will be revealed over the coming weeks. Read the full press release, which we're not going to do because it's rubbish. It's just, hey, we make shoes.
Buy my shoes!
We're crossing over with Transformers.
Bumble shoes.
Are you excited? So there's not a huge amount of details, but if you are into your shoes and your foot lockers and your Pumas, then this might be the thing for you. There's not a whole huge amount shown for the shoe. We see the back of it with an Autobot insignia, and it seems to be yellow in colour, which screams to be a Daimooch colour scheme right off the bat.
Oh god, he's going to buy like 7 pairs.
Well, yeah, 2 for his feet, 2 for his hands.
No, and I don't want to know what the rest are for then.
Those are for everything else. All of his other appendages. Nipples.
Just going like, yes, I can walk on my boobs, finally!
No, he's like the guy from Total Recall. There you go. That's what it is. So yeah, if you are interested, there'll be more of this coming soon. It's exclusive to Foot Locker though, so I don't know whether that means it'll be hitting the UK Foot Locker stores or just the American ones. I would assume just the American ones, but maybe that'll change. I don't know. But it seems to be in conjunction, obviously, with the Bumblebee movie, so I don't think it can be that far off. They'll probably want to do it either just before the release or not too far on after the release, I would guess.
Also, it can't be that hard to make yellow and black shoes and then put an Autobot logo at the back.
You wouldn't have thought so. Maybe there's like some amazing design on the front, which is why we only see the back of it. I don't believe it, though.
I'm not sure I believe that.
No, nor I. Do you have any inklings for some sneakers, Mikey? Some trainers? Some running shoes?
No, certainly not for these.
You like to run. You do that weird thing that I've never enjoyed doing.
I've done the weird thing you never enjoy doing, and I wouldn't say I enjoy it. It's functional when you do it. No. And if I did, I suspect I would not be getting Transformer brand Puma shoes because one, they'll be overpriced compared to ones that are identical because it has a Bumblebee sticker on it somewhere.
Well, they are exclusive, so yeah.
Oh, good. And two, they're probably a little bit shit.
I don't know. How good are Puma shoes? Are Pumas usually shit?
Don't know, but once you get into exclusives, they get into this weird shoe collector range, which is often not about what's functional in my experience.
Okay, see, my mate Matt, who I did the WWE podcast with, he collects shoes. I've mocked him many a time for his girly shoe collection and his
mocked him while waving your child's toys in his face.
You know how I justify it? I'm like, mine are useful. You put yours in little boxes and you put them in a closet. No one can see your shame. My shame's on display. What are you hiding, Matt? Huh?
I want to see someone with a detail filled with boxed shoes.
With boxed shoes, yeah. Just
you can't even see the shoes. It's just a box.
He does usually keep the boxes that they come in as well.
Matt, you nerd. You're a frickin' nerd.
He is a nerd. He's a beautifully athletic nerd. What a
You
bastard.
follow wrestling and you buy shoes. You're a frickin' nerd.
Yep. He's a gorgeous man. What an asshole.
Stop stroking him.
What? I just got stop stroking from you. Like, okay. Yeah, so the shoes, they'll be coming. They'll be a thing. There's also the Hasbro X Alpha MA1 Transformers Flight Jacket. We actually have some images of that, because apparently back at San Diego Comic-Con, there was an announcement of cooperation between Hasbro and Alpha Industries, which I'd never heard of. Have you heard of Alpha Industries?
Not really. Is it what Alpha 5 did after Power Rangers ended?
See, I was thinking it sounded like something from a Marvel comic, like an affiliate name for AIM or something like that.
Or, oh god, never trust anything from a Marvel comic.
Why?
Because they're all... I think AIM spent a little while as good guys.
Did they?
There was an AIM team of... US Avengers.
That just
which was the
wrong.
weird patriotic version of the Avengers with a new Red Hulk. I remember that. And I think they were a subdivision of AIM. I'd have to double check that, but...
That just sounds wrong. Did they have a good MODOK?
No, they had, not Girl Iron Man... what's her name? Ironheart Riri?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have her, but they had a female Iron Patriot.
Okay.
Because for some strange reason, after Iron Man 3, everything became about, the Iron Patriot as this, optional extra to Iron Man.
No.
Which, does no one remember what the Iron Patriot was?
Yeah, he was Normie Osborn.
Doing bad it was the bad guy
things.
suit.
That was Dark Reign, wasn't it?
It was a very, very bad guy suit.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it... marketing, it looked pretty in a bad movie, but... No.
America.
No.
That's why.
No.
But yeah, Alpha Industries, care of Korean website. Do you want to try and tackle that name, Mikey, as our reading expert?
Why is it always me?
Because you're the expert.
Musinsa.
There we go. Musinsa store.
Or Musinsa. Depends where you want to put the emphasis.
Yeah, well, whoever they are, they've got images of the top quality limited jacket, apparently, which will please old-time and young fans at the same time.
Top Gun.
I don't know if that's true. This is a reversible jacket, so you can be extra cool, because that's what the ladies like. You get your jacket, you flip it inside out, and they're like, "Oh, there's another jacket inside that jacket."
Not just that, you have the publicly acceptable version and the I've gone down the dark alley and secretly looking for toy shops version, and this is how they know.
Yes, and
I turn it around and it's just box art.
What Mikey's speaking of is one side is the yellow Bumblebee Jacket version, which is just a yellow jacket with the Bumblebee bee insignia, which I think was an air freshener in one of the movies, right?
Yes, it was.
And then it's got 2 black stripes down the back of it with Transformers and an Autobot insignia. And then, as Mikey alluded to, you flip it around or flip it inside out or however you do it. And it is the, Wave 1 for Generation 1 stuff. So you got weirdly no forearms Optimus Prime. That one with the very, very angry eyes. So it's different. It's different.
It is at that.
Yeah. Again, it's been released in conjunction with Bumblebee. I don't see a date for when it's coming out. Do you, Mikey? Oh no, it's expected to be released October. But there is no specific price at the moment. There is a listed price on the site Mikey mentioned for what is that? 369,000 Korean won. Which is
I heard was it 10,000 won is like $10?
They estimate that it's about $325.
Oh, I must be wrong. And
yes.
Are you insane?
I mean, is that a bad price for a flight jacket? I don't know. I don't know what.
Unless it takes me to space.
Well, what are flight jackets worth? Like, what do you pay for a flight? This is the problem without us being fashionable, Mikey. This is what we get for just wanting £12 t-shirts that have.
Are you going to be
on.
wearing it in the cockpit of a vehicle with the ability to go from a terrestrial position to an aerial one?
Me personally, no.
No. Are you likely to be wearing it in that capacity as anyone?
I don't know. I want to believe Ryan Reynolds would do this when he goes into the next Green Lantern movie reboot.
Unless this makes me capable of piloting an F-22 at some sort of G-force. No! No, fuck off with your stupid price.
But again, what is a flight jacket worth, though?
Not that much, unless it actually is used in a plane.
I don't think we can comment on it, because neither of us have ever bought a flight jacket. And
I can. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because I don't give a fuck.
No. But for people that do this, I don't buy flight jackets. I don't know if there's a market in general for flight jackets. I'm partially interested to know how much one of those would cost versus this. Like, is it like Mikey says, an exorbitant amount? Because from my perspective, and clearly from yours, Mikey, it is. But if you buy flight jackets and it's only like $50 difference, maybe, then that's fine, I guess. We're in a market that we have no place being, Mikey.
Just get a
hoodie.
Else.
Just get a £40 hoodie. Boom.
Go to Asda, get one of the ones that are really crap, and just go in that. You're fine. You've got £300 or dollars or whatever to, I don't know, buy porn.
I mean,
or
that's
pretend to buy.
You got to remember, Mikey. People pay a lot of money for what is that brand? Supreme, isn't it? They spend like hundreds of dollars on the Supreme, anything that has that logo on. And there's like a brick and it has Supreme on it, and they'll pay like a good $100 for a brick.
So what you're saying is that people are crazy.
I'm saying people like fashionable things that are
people
statements.
buy Funko Pops.
They do. I can't say I justify that, though. I can't say I approve of that. They keep coming, though. Mikey!
Yes.
Mikey, this is arguably the best bit of news this week, and I'm giving it to you because I'm a good boy.
Well, it's one of the 2 best bits of news, anyway.
I would say, for me, this is the best bit.
Takara Tomy Mall has updated their website with official photos of the upcoming Big Powered Legends exclusive set. This is going to be Diatlas, Sonic Bomber, and Roadfire using the Overlord Sky Shadow mold, Misfire, and Twin Twist. Obviously, they can assume individual robot modes and combine into what is I'd say generously called an alt mode. We've got a price. It's going to be 15,000 yen, so between $130 and $150, depending on what your exchange rate is at the time. Not a shock, really, in my opinion, for the amount of remolding that's in these guys. It's going to be out in March. However, you should be warned, this is another case where this is a release that is somewhat reliant on pre-orders. If they do not get enough pre-orders, they will probably cancel this. So, similar situation to Grand Max. I suspect they'll do fine. I'm just putting it out there. If you are thinking of getting it, or if you think I will definitely get this, get your pre-order in as early as possible, really.
Yeah. I'm going to be getting mine sorted at some point.
So this is 3 figures. We get full color pictures of them in every mode and in their combined form. We also get, as with the original toys, there are some funny base modes in this.
Sorry, you mean Sakamoto modes?
No, these are original things. These were in the original. You could take Roadfire and do this with the original toy.
You could, but I don't think Sakamoto did those originally, so I want to believe that someone hired him and he went, I can make these a base mode. Watch me, guys. And just messed them up and went, base mode. Because he did that with Topspin and Twin Twist, so.
He did that with Triptychon, for Christ's sake.
He did, yeah.
First up, we have Diatlas. He is the Overlord mold. I think he's kind of similar to Overlord and Sky Shadow in that the jet part's brand new and the tank's reused.
To a point, like the shin parts, like the yellow bits have been remolded, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But like Overlord and Sky Shadow, the tank components are identical, but the actual jets are 2 completely different molds.
Yeah, that's right.
Just with similar schemes. So I'm curious if, because either way, massively remolded. But I'm curious if maybe Diatlas is a retool of one of those 2, or if he's another new part.
You mean altogether? Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. What's your take on him?
I'm interested to know if you can pull apart his legs. Because in the images, it doesn't show that you can remove the tank tread bit and, have it on its own. We don't even know if it has a turret part to it. Like, when you flip those shin parts around, what do they have on the inside? Do they have connector ports to connect it better to the torso when it's in the jet mode part? I don't know.
I was going to say, it's got a new gun, or at least a retool gun, so...
That's new,
but I don't know. We're definitely missing some parts on that tank.
It seems like it. But who knows? I really like it. It captures the Diatlas look really well. He can even do the shitty, what was it, Z shield boomerang thing?
Yeah.
Somewhat so, with his wings. So you can detach the wings and kind of fold them into a shield, which again is pretty neat. The base mode is
hilarious.
Yeah, right. It's a thing.
It's Overlords. It's the same base mode we've already had, just with bits and bobs added.
I think there's a little bit less because with the Overlord one, you could split his back open and fill out. You see where he's got the gun in between his legs for the base mode, and it looks quite lewd. With Overlord, I think you'd have him turned around and his back bit opened up, and that would fill out a little bit more, if I remember right. I haven't. I don't think I've ever turned him into the base mode because it just looks terrible. But
yeah.
No, I'm very impressed with it. This is clearly the selling point, as it's Diatlas and the other 2, whatever their names are.
Yeah, like the robot mode is kind of what's selling it for me, because the alt modes they're remarkably accurate. But the thing about Diatlas is that he has terrible alt modes.
They're unique. One thing I would have liked to have seen, because didn't he have drill hands as well?
I don't remember.
I think he might have had drill hands as a weapon at one point, but again, I could very well be wrong. He definitely has it for his nose cone, though, at least. So
yeah. It looks really well done.
And hey, Mikey. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Andy.
Where's the Mike Gine repaint? What was he called in Mike Gine? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
It wasn't Red Geist or Red something, because there were loads of Red Geists.
No, the guy... What? Was he a bad guy or a good guy in Mike Gine?
I think he was like an anti-hero, like he was a bad guy sometimes, and then he was a good guy.
He wouldn't be an anti-hero if he was Geist.
No.
The Geists were always
bad
guys.
Yeah.
Because Red Geist was the Detsaurus.
That's right. And then there was a Scorponok.
Let's see.
There was some other ones.
He was Goryu.
Okay, there we go. He was Goryu.
The second mech of the series, anti-hero Joe Raibaru.
Great name.
So... I'm assuming, wow, the Brave redesigns are hilarious. Just because it's like, I swear to God, this uses the same toy.
yeah, pretty much. But no, Diatlas
apparently
is good.
It was originally going to be called Atlas.
All right.
And the Diatlas was also used to make Atlas Mark II drones for the same series.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so that's Diatlas. I think we both agree he's a win.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is Sonic Bomber, who is the retool of the Misfire, who is a retool of, I want to say Trigger Happy, not Slug Slinger.
I mean, Trigger Happy was the first one to come out, sure, but who knows which was the first one to be designed or made or whatever. Who knows?
But yeah, so again, heavy ass retool. By the way, they all come with headmasters, but headmasters. I think he looks pretty solid. Like, he's a little unremarkable because he just his alt mode just kind of looks like an aerial bot or overlord. And his robot mode is again a little unremarkable, but I think the color schemes are gorgeous. I think he's the weak one of the set.
I would agree. He doesn't have a big fancy silhouette, like you say. His vehicle mode is just a small black jet. And it's like, okay. I mean, that's what he was originally. That's what his design is. So that's not their fault. That's they were aiming to make it like that, and I think they've accomplished that. The color scheme, like you say, is good. I like the red and the white placement. That seems to be nice and crisp. The new head mold for him seems again on point and solid. The base mode for him is
generous?
Generous, yes. That's a good way to phrase it. It's a generous base mode.
Yeah.
But hey, they've filled it. It's fine. I wouldn't be angry to have it. I wouldn't be buying it and going, I wish I didn't have this. I'd be looking at it going, you're not the one I love the most. You're not the best child in this.
No. Moving on to the second son, then we have Roadfire, who is a redo of Twin Twist. New gun, new headmaster, loads of new parts and molding. He's got more of a repair bay looking base mode to me, if I have to say.
Yeah.
But overall, I think he's really nice. I love the color scheme. I love the new parts. This is one that I wouldn't get either of the deluxes on their own. As a set, actually, I'm really into the whole set, but individually, I'd get Diatlas. I wouldn't get the deluxes. He's the closest I'd come. He'd be the one I'd be holding in the he's the one you pick up on the shelf and just staring at for a while before you realize mothers are taking their children away from you because a grown man standing there staring at toys for 10 minutes, and not moving. Because you don't move.
No.
And you're putting him back on the shelf, and then you're pausing. You take him off again,
and you're making stuff like.
And maybe checking your phone to see what the price is on eBay. But yeah, no, I like him. I like him quite a bit. What do you think?
Because I've never had Topspin or Twin Twist and haven't handled any of the molds, I think I remember saying ages ago, like, what would Japan do with that mold? And this was not what I expected. And it's much more interesting to me and appealing to me. Granted, was this guy even in the show? Was he in Zone? Because I know the other one was.
Yeah, Sonic Bomber was.
Was this guy? I don't know.
Remember.
No.
Let's see. The Powered Masters. Road Fire. No, he wasn't. He was into story pages, but he never made it into the show.
Oh, clearly he was gonna at some point. I think that's safe to assume. But no, this is an interesting looking mold. He's got good colors, and again, he's quite an impressive looking figure. Not the colors that really bang in my camp. And I would have liked a Decepticon look for him, but again, it fits well with the rest of them, so I can hardly complain. It's, again, if I was buying them, the order I'd buy them in is Diatlas, then this guy, then Sonic Bomber last, I think. But yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
No
and then of course
the Sakamoto comic though, right?
We fucking better. But of course, Andy, there is the big selling point of this set,
which is
there is the Big Powered.
Oh.
Are you into the Big Powered?
I'm more of a Zap Power kind of guy, personally.
But Andy,
yeah,
it's Big Powered.
But it's not Za, and it doesn't come from Jupiter.
That is true, but it's big.
But is a Jupiter big?
Few things are locally. You'd be surprised. But no, yeah, it's hilarious. But it always was. So. We do have one other bit of Japanese news.
Oh, do we?
Which basically took over my life for about 24 hours.
Oh, we're doing this here, are we? Okay, I thought
we're doing this here because
I thought we were saving this to what we did this week.
I would count this as news.
Kinda.
I would count this as news because it's insane. It's insane, and I've never seen anything like this before in my life, in most mediums. I'll be talking about the actual show itself later on, but for those of you who don't know, SSSS Gridman is airing on TV. It's on Crunchyroll, whatever. It is the animated adaptation of Gridman, which was a spin-off sort of for the internet generation show from the Ultraman series, which are basically guys in rubber suits fight guys in spandex.
Woo!
Not really a big Ultraman fan, never have been. A couple of the movies I liked, but for the most part, I'm not really into what they're selling. Gridman, it's done by Studio Trigger, and it's been airing for 2 weeks now, and I was watching it. And then I started noticing a lot of retweets from Japanese people, just random, everyday, normal individuals, who were posting pictures of Gridman characters next to Transformer toys. And I was like, what is going on? And then the giant hole in the world opened up, and I just started falling and falling and falling. Andy, I've seen Transformer references in media before.
I can't guarantee that. I haven't lived your life, but I will believe you on that.
Have you seen Transformers references in media?
Every now and again.
It's fair to say they're usually small, insignificant.
Very much so.
There's an I found this out actually because of this, but there's an episode of Gurren Lagann where if you look into one of the big gunmen, like they're all charging, one of the gunmen is a Decepticon symbol.
Oh, really? Oh, neat. Okay. Yeah.
And that's a Gynax show, and there's this Trigger show, because for anyone who doesn't know, a lot of staff from Gynax moved over and started their own studio, which was Trigger, which made Kill la Kill. If you ever fight me about Kill la Kill being good, I will win. And they did a show about, I think it was about like spirits or something like that. And in a background shot, they have Classics Optimus Prime falling off a shelf. That's nice. So what have I told you? This show for Super Riot Productions in cooperation with Studio Trigger took referencing to a level. Like, I remember when the Panty and Stocking episode came out and everyone freaked the fuck out. So what if the entire show, Andy, the entire aesthetic of the show, up to everything bar the giant robot man, and I mean everything bar the giant robot man, was Transformers?
Here's the thing, they're not very they're not like the Panty and Stocking references, which are quite egregious and in your face. These are a lot more subtle about it.
Yep, but
to the point where sometimes I see them and I'm like,
we have some independent cooperation.
Yeah. So,
first of all, this is an Imgur gallery that I put together, because I was up all night, not able to sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is wild. Some of these are genuinely wild. So the main character, and the one problem here, I will probably remember everyone in the show, and I will never be able to remember what their actual name is.
It's your Megatron.
Because these aren't just referencing Transformers. These are... You'll figure it out in a second. The first character is got some design elements off of Classics Cliffjumper. The horns are probably the easiest one to get past. The fact his shoes are Cliffjumper's bumpers, not so easy to get past. He also have Cliffjumper's back as a backpack, which a lot of Gridman fellas are saying is actually the shield from the original Gridman. And then someone who watched Gridman said no, like it's not. No, it's coincidental, like that they're similar. But yeah, so Classics Cliffjumper, all right.
Yes.
So the shoes are kind of like the inarguable tell, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Next one, second character. He's wearing a green and black shirt with a purple 8 that's been sliced down the middle. He also has a backpack that says Turbo, and he's using a Movieverse toy. He appears to be based off of Shattered Glass Sideswipe, who, if you don't know, that is a remold rather. No, it's just a recolor of the Armada Wheeljack mold, which is, so that was the one where I was like, okay. The secondary character is based off Sideswipe from Shattered Glass. And then you get the female character, the tertiary female character, is based off of Shattered Glass Megatron. and takes a lot of little keys and cues and stuff off his design. And her backpack appears to be the actual little tank friend he has. And then you get to Soundwave, and it's just literally something someone's been drawing on DeviantArt for years.
Yeah.
It's Shattered Glass Soundwave. She's got a little green bow in her hair. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
To like his bandana. She's wearing a face mask. And oh yes, her towel says Ravage on it.
And it's got
has
a kitty
picture,
design.
a little white kitty.
Yeah.
Then there's Starscream. By the way, Soundwave and Starscream's characters are all friends with Megatron's character.
Yeah.
Again, we're into Shattered Glass Starscream. Do you sense a pattern emerging? The tie has some details. The shoes do. She's wearing a cyber key in her hair. Then you get on. This is actually the character I'm enjoying most in the show. We get onto the one of the main female characters, and she's Nemesis Prime. Color layout's identical. The big tells are the fact that her headphones are identical to the Classics Optimus head, right down to the little weird tubes, and she has weird, creepy glasses that have a crack in the right lens and have the same color tint and whatever as what you see in Shattered Glass Optimus, who has a crack in the right window. Then there's a Rodimus character who has the same flames. There's Action Master Shattered Glass Thundercracker. Who has a shirt with a jet that says Thunder on it.
Yeah, that for me was the kind of stitch where I went, okay, yeah, this is... I'm starting to believe this now.
Megatron's mother has an apron with the Megatron G1 chest decal on it. And apparently the color scheme is directly lifted off some obscure reissue of Megatron.
Yeah, it's the Japanese one with the blue inner thighs. Which is why her pants are jeans.
Yeah. And then it got weirder because the Dinobots are in it. Or rather, the movieverse Dinobots are in it. And these are the ones where I was blinking the most until I actually started to realize what people were talking about. So, you've got... I learned their names. I think it's Caliber, Max, Boar, and Veet. But yeah, so they have a weird thing where they don't have a lot of aesthetics from it, but their lapels all have a marker in it, which is lifted from the shoulder design of the Dinobots. The easiest one to spot is Grimlock's, where it's basically the T-Rex jaw. And I've double checked these match up perfectly to what's on Scorn and Slug. The Strafe one, he doesn't have a pattern. He has his lapel is shaped like two heads, with the same mouth, with actually a mouth dividing line when you see it up close.
Yeah,
and eyes. And the Grimlock guy, he's in the opening, and you see his weapon is a big mace that covers his entire right hand. Then there's Octopunch and Shatterglass Straxus, including Octopunch's weird duck tits.
At least on one of his sides, at least, right?
Yeah, which I remember the designer got really annoyed that people kept on saying it was a duck. Two of the monsters, at least, are this is one of them. I think if it was on its own, I'd probably let it go. Which is, one is saying it's a monster based off of the Beast Wars Power Hug toy. The Senshi Maru one, yeah, the Senshi Maru one, not so much of a stretch.
No, yeah, that one's closer since it's a bit more of a shark monster and it has more of the cues towards it. That one I could buy.
Yeah. Also, I included it in the bottom of this gallery are from an art book which was drawn by several people who work at Trigger.
Ah.
Yeah. We have a Shatterglass Megatron and Shatterglass Optimus panty and stocking.
Yep.
That's there because you see that last picture at the end?
Yeah.
That the entire ending is just those two characters. Okay. Who are designed after Megatron and Optimus.
Ah, right, okay.
The entire ending is shipping.
Right.
So, yeah, that broke the internet. What else is there? Because there's still more.
You said I was right. That was something.
I was right about... I forgot what I was right about.
No, you said I was right.
Oh, you're never right.
No, you said I was right about Violent Jiger.
Oh, yeah. So, he takes the main villain takes some design elements from the original character he's based on, takes some design elements from a villain from another Trigger thing, but overall is quite Violent Jiger.
Woo!
With Nemesis Prime's color scheme on his shoulders.
Woo!
And there's a bit in episode 2 where they have a list of names, which are all puns on the following: Takara, Tonker, Kenner, Toybox, Toyco. One of the characters is named Haz. And kind of another one. Another girl, I didn't have her picture here. She's Psykill.
Yeah, I saw McFeely post that up today or something like that.
To say this caused a bit... There's more in here. I'm not going through the rest. And this is from 2 episodes. To say this caused a bit of thing is something of an understatement, because a lot of people don't buy it, a lot of people do buy it, whatever. And then you look into who's making this show. The designer and the director, there's 2 different people, Masaru Sakamoto and Akira Memiya, or Memiya, Akira, Sakamoto, Masaru. I'm not playing that game. So the director is Akira Memiya. You may have already have heard of him because he's designing the Furai model kits. Sakamoto, you may not have heard of. He's been working with Trigger Design for years. Both of these guys have been contributing to Transformers art books for several years. And have been responsible for several of the inserts in Gainax and Trigger shows. I posted today a picture of, I believe it's Sakamoto, at his design desk, which apparently is where he actually works, and you can see him doing something. And he is surrounded by all the robot toys, including the third-party Beast Garura. And I think there's a third-party Power Master Prime in the back. And basically, according to Keizama, not only are these guys ridiculously large Transformers fans, they're ridiculously large Shattered Glass fans.
Oh, well, did she mention why they were Shattered Glass
Just
fans?
there,
Probably
like, Akira Memiya, do you remember there was a Shattered Glass Rodimus t-shirt a while back?
Yeah, it was a pretty good
that
one.
That was Akira Memiya. He designed it.
Okay.
And they both contributed to more than just a Geek Spark, which was a big art book from a few years back.
Right.
Where Alex was in there. I think Josh was in there as well.
That was where the Penny and Stocking image you were talking about earlier is from, right?
Yeah. I've never seen this with any show before in my life. Where basically the designers were given one licensed property, and because they're just gigantic nerds for a very, very, very specific part of Transformers, they just decided, fuck it, we'll make that the design aesthetic. And it also made it really hard to watch episode 2 because I was pausing every 5 seconds. Anytime a new character showed up, I go, "Who are you?" Because I'm sure I missed a bunch. But it's so weird, Andy.
So my question for you is, Mikey, when are you going to get those people onto the show for an interview?
I don't think... If he speaks English, Akira Memiya, come on, please, for the love of fuck. Here's another thing. Remember, was it last week we were asked what animation studio we'd like to see do a Transformers anime?
Well, yeah, I suppose we had that answer forced upon us.
Yeah, we made several choices. At the time, I was saying I think Andy made a better one. I take it all back.
Yeah,
Studio Trigger, because Jesus Christ, they give a fuck. But it's like
about
it's
a
so
very
weird.
specific part, at least.
Yeah, what if they did a Shattered Glass anime? How could you do a Shattered Glass anime without, like, context?
I don't see why not.
I don't know.
As long as you set it up, you know.
Yeah, but it's something else, and I just like some of the news sites are talking about it. It's just so bizarre. I've never seen anything like this for inserts. Not to this like I've seen like inserts for different things and different franchises. I've never seen it like this kind of insert. But yeah, like, I'm very curious to see what else we're going to get. Are more monsters going to be based off of stuff? Are more characters? How many characters are going to be in this show? Are we going to see, like, Ultra Mammoth? Is there going to be, like, this really cute girl who's, like, based off of the time Ultra Magnus was a woolly mammoth?
I mean, maybe. Why not?
Because he's in the Shattered Glass comics at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Andy, you obviously did not fall down the rabbit hole as I did, but, I mean... You saw the madness sort of roll out.
I saw it happen on Twitter. I won't be getting into the show until, you know, there is a good surplus of episodes out, because I like to watch them in bulk, and after waiting a few weeks and having a big bulk of episodes, you will find out from the people who do it each week if the show is trash or not. You'll actually have more to go on than one episode and be like, it's one episode, it could still be shit.
Yep, which is a lesson I wish more people would learn.
Yeah, you know, that's people form their opinions very quickly, like Goblin Slayer, which we'll talk about later. We will talk about that later. Mikey, since you've dumped a whole bunch of things for people to look out for if they are checking out SSSSS Gridman, which No, I heard the reason why. Did you hear the reason why people are suspecting why it was 4 S's for that title?
No.
Superhuman Samurai.
Oh yeah, like I know
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Cyber Squad.
Yeah.
But I know that
thought.
some of the mechs or something are named after the equivalent parts from Samurai Squad.
So they
so
are
like
nerds.
these guys are cutting deep.
Yep. It's good for them. Good for them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In the future. We also have a bit of Transformers Siege additional deluxe class listings with a barricade with a question mark next to that, which could be quite interesting. There are 6 listings as well. We've got Deluxe Mirage, in quotations, fan voted. That would be from the, what was it, Mirage and Needle Nose? Was
Impactor.
That it? Impactor? Oh yeah, yeah. We've got Deluxe Impactor fan voted Decepticon. It says these 2 listings seem to confirm the individual releases and not a 2-pack. That's good, which is somewhat implied by the original fan vote. So I'd say that's better, but also a problem because they were selling it as a stupid 2-pack.
Yep.
If we could have chosen 2 out of the 6, I think it would have gone differently.
Yep.
Mirage would not have been put in there, I don't think.
No. Mirage was a hanger-on.
Yeah. Deluxe Red Alert hinted at the official artwork, and we saw the promotional images of earlier. Deluxe Barricade, which is a new reveal, and Deluxe Sprint, which we saw at New York Comic Con, and Deluxe Reflector, which was also seen at New York Comic Con. So, Mikey, what do you think of the idea of Mirage and Impactor being separate boys and Barricade? Granted, we have no idea what Barricade that could be, because it could be a Micromaster. Well, it's listed as a Deluxe, but what does that mean? What does Barricade mean to you, Mikey?
I don't know. Like, I'm assuming if it's the Deluxe, it's based off a movie Barricade, because
It could be the Bug. It could be the Insecticon.
it could, but
I doubt
like,
it, but
why would they ever make, to be blunt, even unless they're making a Micromaster, why would they make any other version of Barricade?
I don't know.
Which made me raise the question: what's his design going to be like? Is it going to be the Evergreen?
Yeah, because he doesn't have a G1 aesthetic, as far as I'm aware.
No. The Evergreen one's kind of it's kind of the kind of toys I like seeing, which is a redesign of a character, taking some different inspirations, but mostly doing new stuff.
Yeah.
So hey, I like that design when I saw it. So, Mirage and Impactor being different or being separate, I think I'm not going to say it's disingenuous, but I will say Mirage would have not have made it in here when the other options were Trax and Wheeljack.
You don't think so?
No, listen. The only reason it was made is because Impactor is both very popular with the old comic crowd and very popular with the new comic crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was up against guys who are purely popular with the new comic crowd in terms of the Decepticons. Also, Impactor's going to be the Decepticon in this, but I just like, if they were going to pull this, I'd have rather gotten like, guys, we've got 6 characters, vote for your favorite 2.
Yeah,
and we'll release them. Having to tag along, get in this way is not something I like.
No, it seems like plans changed at some point. Maybe they were meant to be a Toys R Us exclusive, and obviously Toys R Us died. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm guessing that probably changed up what they wanted to do with it. I mean, that to me makes the most sense, because otherwise, why would you have sold it on them being a 2-pack when they're, not a 2-pack seemingly? I don't know. But Mikey, there is news going around that Toys R Us is not completely dead, as it seems to be getting called Jeffrey's Toy Box. It's attempting to make a comeback in some form. The information came from Toy Arc. That's a news site that you can go onto as well, revealing Toys R Us move to come back one more time into the market as Jeffrey's Toy Box. Will be at a brand new. Will be brand new and name. Will be the new brand and name. Working with the locations that will be store within a store concept. We should spot pop-up stores inside big retail outlets. The plan is to open the first locations in November of this year at regional Midwestern retailers. So, Mikey, what do you think about that? Fantastic.
I'm not in it. People are loving this for the wrong reasons.
Why are people loving this then, Mikey?
people are loving this because they have very clear nostalgic memories of Toys R Us, either as adult collectors or young collectors or just normal children. And they didn't want their favorite toy company to go away. And, it was 15% of toy sales in America. And it was just like, oh no, it might be coming back. That's great. And it just like, it's coming back as like when you wander through an apartment shop and you pass the makeup and you see there's like this squared off bit that says toys in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a place in Portsmouth and they had that for a game shop, like Game, the company.
Yeah.
And it just like right next to the shoes. It was very strange. So it's not exactly like to be blunt, it's not exactly like this is being done with a sense of soul. It's being done with a sense of we can make money out of this association. Because if they thought they were going to start a new toy shop for the right reasons, they would not be riding the Toys R Us bag. They just make a new company.
What do you think of the idea of them putting them in other stores? Maybe as a starting place at least.
As a starting place, it's a test the waters kind of thing. It either says that they're trying to see if they can grab enough money from selling in these smaller locations to maybe get, go to bigger outlet stores. Or it's saying that they really don't have a lot of faith in this concept and they're trying to get some extra money fast as we move into a sale, a few months into the future. And then if it fails, it fails. No big whoop. And we made an extra bit of cash. We tested the waters. They're not the only ones starting up again as well. It was announced, was it today or yesterday, that FAO Schwartz, which was I believe it was a closed, or it was either a closed or a very reduced toy franchise, is making a big push to start opening big shops. They're opening a flagship shop in Rockefeller Plaza in New York on November 16th. They're opening a bunch of smaller shops in other places in America. In Canada, they're doing micro shops, and they will be having pop-up shops in Spain, Australia, and London for the holiday season. So, like, basically, I think Jeffrey's Toy Box is no different than those pop-up shops.
Yeah.
And except that FAO Schwartz closed a while back. Bad times are gone. Toys R Us shut a few months back. People are still looking for jobs. In fact, apparently, according to at least one of the podcasts I were listening to, the Twitter announcement of all this was followed by a lot of people contacting official channels and saying, can I please have my job back?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I don't like this. Again, I don't like this because what they will do is hire a bunch of newbies to cover their shop that they don't care that much about, because I don't think this is being done from a decent perspective.
Oh, well, so, I mean, business,
If you can get your toys here, fine. And if it starts up and becomes a thing again, Jeffrey's Toy Box exclusives, whatever you want, fine, that's grand. But let's not attribute a sense of well-being and positivity to this that is not there in the intent. Because I have seen that a few times, people saying like, "Oh my God, this is great. They heard us, they love us, they're trying to get this back. Maybe they'll hire people back, blah blah." And it's just like, let's call a spade here. People who killed the company are now trying to make money off its corpse.
Oh yeah, it's all business at the end of the day is making money. This is no different from that.
Yeah. So Andy, what's your thoughts?
I'm not first. My need to go out to buy toys at stores kind of evaporated years ago when I could get things cheaper through other means, and I prefer to get things at the cheapest price I can do to get the most money out of it. So the idea that Jeffrey's Toy Box is coming is like, okay, fine. It doesn't really do anything for me, but if it makes people happy, that's good. If it gives people back some jobs, then that's also a boon and a plus, even though, who knows if they'll hire the original people back or if they'll just get new people in. I would imagine they'd just get new people in. I have a feeling they wouldn't care that much, to be honest, but I could easily be wrong there. With just another thing, isn't it? Just another thing.
Yep.
I got nothing. Mikey, do you want to take us on to our last bit of news? Because we're pretty much done, to be honest.
Yeah, this was weird.
It was.
Like, this is weirder than the anime.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. But so some packaging art showed up for a character none of us had ever seen. It was Marcelo Mattier art, Transformers Generation. We had, like, a box layout. And it was this guy who looked like a purple huffer, would be how I'd call him.
That's fair.
Yeah, and this was revealed via the South American online toy store Toy Adventures. Is this a new character for War for Cybertron Siege? We don't know. But they're clearly putting something out. So, detective work was carried out
As it always seems to be.
And yeah, people. The thing is, the detective work did not clear anything up.
Oh, okay.
Or rather, it made it more confusing. So, tackle over at really. Tacker. That's not better. Don't tacker her tackle. WTF, TFW, that website. Carried out some detective work. So, based on this, the original illustration came with a vehicle based on an original uncolored sketch used by Marcelo Mathieu way back in BotCon 2016, which showed this character and a ship of some sort above him. This appears to have been a very, very early concept for the Headmaster Titan Master Sovereign, which came with Alpha Trion, back when Alpha Trion had a much better vehicle mode that could never have turned into that lion. Now, early on, when they were doing the concept arts, they used some artwork from the Mord Meets Eye guidebooks. They took some Micromaster art, specifically... what's his name? It's the Power Master partner for Lube. Power Master partner Lube. His name is Lube. They took his art and recolored it into Shatterglass color, or into Alpha Trion colors, and put it in the promo work. And then they took that, adapted it into a newer design, which would be the one they would use for Sovereign. It's not the one they ended up using for Sovereign. But yeah, so. This is an early concept for Sovereign's Headmaster design, and we don't know what the story is from there. It clearly got abandoned. But the question is, why are we getting packaging art of him?
Yeah. Do we have an answer for that?
No. Oh. No, we don't.
No.
Like, some people are saying he's Battlemaster Smashdown. 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 Also known as Smashmouth. Who was a Walmart leak a while back. It's possible, but then does that mean they took a concept for a headmaster and then built a whole robot around it? Because Battlemasters they're going to be the are they the Legion scale or the weapons?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't remember offhand.
Presumably he's going to be small, but are they just going to release a headmaster on their own? Does he have a different alt mode now? This is weird.
Yeah, very. Maybe it'll be a bonus for something, like an exclusive.
Maybe.
And God knows what for Amazon or something like that, maybe.
Very possible, actually. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. Any other thoughts?
Not really. The design doesn't look too bad, though. Looks interesting enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it, and I'd say that's it for news.
I would agree with you, Mikey. We've all cleaned her out for the stuff, so I've got to ask you, sir, what you been up to this week? What's Mikey done for fun?
Well, I had a plan, and that plan got derailed by something which I'll talk about at the end. The plan was to watch two very specific series, at least 3 episodes of both. I didn't, because when I sat down to start watching stuff, I said, I'll check this out for 5 minutes. And then it ate my life. But first off, caught the 2nd episode of Gridman.
Yes.
Starting to get a feel for what the show is actually about. A lot of people saying this is, oh my god, the show to save Trigger. I was just like, I didn't realize Trigger was in trouble. And then they also followed on, but they've never had a good show. And I was like, oh, people who don't like Kill la Kill.
Yeah. But what else have they done that's good?
My Witch Academia, but I had a chat with someone about this, and which is basically, hey, all those animation companies you all hold at the very high esteem?
Mm-hmm.
They've probably produced anywhere between 20 and 100 different products over the years. Maybe 5 to 10 of those are something exceptional. Yeah. And those are the ones that you hold up on a pedestal. And I'm including stuff like Studio Ghibli.
Sure, yeah, of course. Not all of their movies are amazing.
And many of those have been out for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
As companies. Trigger has been around for 5 years and has one brilliant show, one show I really like, and one show which, if they'd stayed with it, probably would have ended a lot better.
It feels like Trigger's been around a lot longer than 5 years, though. It hasn't, but it feels like it.
I think it's maybe it's 6, but I think it's just the fact they're very much inheriting the Gainax thing.
More than likely, yeah.
And even then, with people talk about Gainax, hey, name a show that's not Gurren Lagann, Gunbuster, or Evangelion that people hold in high esteem from Gainax. Fooly
Cooly?
Fooly Cooly. Appleseed. And I
Was
don't
that
think
them?
Appleseed.
I don't think
That was them back in the very well. They did a movie, Nadia, I think it was called. And then you get into all their tit animes.
Woo!
Like He Is My Master or How Romantic, which I like.
Yeah,
but
you
would I hold those up?
boy.
Would I hold those up as exceptional storytelling? Better storytelling than given credit.
Uh-huh.
But Studio Trigger, it's a young studio. They opened on a big high, and they're going through the phase. Gridman, I think, is good. I like it. It's not blowing my mind. It's basically kind of a very standard Toku, but in animation.
Mm-hmm.
But looks good. Animation's clean. Characters are fun. Voice acting's very good. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. Gridman himself is kind of a blank slate, but I don't know if that's just kind of typical for Ultras.
Yeah.
Himself, he just sort of goes on, you need to save people. I need you to save people. Do you have anything else to say?
It's still early on, though.
Exactly. There was also episode 2 of Thunderbolt Fantasy Season 2.
Okay, yeah. Still good?
Still good, like, starting to settle in there for the old plot and stuff, and I call this Don't Try and Kid a Kidder episode.
Does it feel like it'll have more of an interesting plot than the original series? Because although I liked Season 1, it was very, very basic. I
think this is going to be a lot more character focused.
Okay, that's good. The story's not going to be amazing, but it'll focus more on the dudes.
Depends. Like, I like the story because I like the mythological aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is heavy in mythology, this one.
Right.
But like, there's a lot of time spent on the main characters, especially the two big guys because they've been developed already. So we can spend some time with them and they can play off everyone else. But I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. It's so pretty. Andy, it's so pretty.
How pretty?
It's pretty. So yeah, if you haven't seen Thunderbolt Fantasy, Korean puppets done by the guy who made Madoka Magica. Really worth your time. That's definitely Season 1 is worth your time, and anyone who says otherwise, I'll fight you. Yeah. Checked out Kamen Rider Geo. Apparently it is Geo. Episode 6, which was the 5 episode and was not strong.
Oh.
The plot is mixed at best in this one. The visuals are really cool because Sakamoto's directing it. Koichi. And the Phi suit, the new Phi suit, is pretty decent looking. I actually quite like it. It's one of Gates's. But the writing in this one is messed up a bit. There's not much, like the links between Phis and Fourze that they make don't really work out for me. There's a couple of plot things that are interesting. It's very, like, I know it's because, like, time reset and they're not the guys we know, but there's something very strange about seeing Takumi describe Kusaka as, well, I hate you, but you're one of my friends. Because that's weirdly the same kind of attitude they had in that crossover movie where Kaiser died and then haunted Takumi.
Oh, yeah.
And made him feel really shit about anything. And the culmination of that show was realizing, actually, I don't like you.
Yeah.
You're not nice. Just like trying to portray Kaiser as an anti-hero is very strange to me.
Yeah, he's a dick.
And people say, like, oh, no one remembers. They voted it the most popular writer show. They remember.
Yeah.
He's just he was a villain. He was one of the big writer villains of his day. Like, and I saw people like, yeah, finally we see the version of them we should have always seen. And I'm just like, you do realize that in at least one timeline he's a rapist. Not like the hinty thing. Rapiest of rapists. And even in the main show, he's pretty rapey. Kaiser's not a nice man, and I don't feel wholly comfortable of them trying to portray him as one. They do, I will say, like, I'm liking these kind of side episodes more. Because they're goofy trivia things. Like, they're talking about why they couldn't get Forze's actor back. And it was because he was filming Bleach.
I hear that's meant to be okay as well for what it is.
I would struggle because Bleach is a mess of a series. Before you get onto live action adaptations.
Sure, yeah.
I randomly stumbled in on some stuff about the final arc I'd forgotten. I was just like, oh, there's a reason I forgot this. It was atrociously written. The entire final arc of Bleach is such a disaster. But yeah, like, just like not a great episode. It's episodes like these that are going to decide how good the show is, because I think going forward, more often than not, they're not going to be able to get the actors back.
No.
And I think how they manage that is going to be an issue. And I think this was one of the episodes that showed that having to merge these two stories together, how they trying to soften up those things instead of referencing them properly. Yeah. Also, I found out how Kuroto is going to play out in this show, not because of the episode, but because of some new stuff.
Okay.
Didn't see that coming.
Right.
He has an amazing outfit. The pictures of his outfit are glorious, but the episode he's going to play a role in makes me kind of think that what I kind of would like to have seen that episode examine won't get examined.
Okay.
It's going to be a recent one as well, so it's not too far off. But I think the next two are supposed to be Kabuto and Hibiki. No, Wizard, Kabuto, and Hibiki. I think that's going to be it. At least someone told me that. But yeah, well, keep watching. And then there was Life Sync. Because I was supposed to be watching Steingate, I was supposed to be watching Fate Stay Night, I was supposed to be watching at least one other show, and then I decided, I saw the episode 1 of ReZero, I'll watch episode 2. I'll watch episode 3. I was late to start recording the show because I was watching episode 25. Then I did some reading on ReZero. And how did I miss this show? It's only 2 years ago, but it was the anime that's rocked 2016, voted one of the best anime of the decade. Crunchyroll's most watched show during its airing time.
I think it's maybe better that you didn't watch it when it came out, though, because it probably would have been overhyped.
Yeah, I went into
everybody fucking talked about it, as far as I remember, at least.
Yeah, but I went in this pretty blank. I remember seeing it on the scheduling, and I just never got to. I think I saw Parallel World. Yeah, another one. Because they're a little bit of a I was trying to find some that were interesting last week, and you have to wade through so much repetitive crap about ooh, look, it's a guy from the real world, but look, he's got video game stats, no one else does, it's a fancy world, look how incredibly powerful he is right next to everyone else, and therefore how none of this plot makes sense. And then you get to Konosuba and just yes, all is trash, all is good. But ReZero does not take that angle.
No.
It's very character-driven, very character-focused, brutal as fuck, disturbing, upsetting, emotional, rough, engaging, funny. The funny dies off, but God, it examining stuff, trauma, looks really nice. It's a really good show. I would say probably one of the best ones I've seen in a while. And it doesn't have what Darling and Franks had, which was, hey, half production team pulled out and the rest had no fucking idea what they were doing. It's just really well put together, really engaging. Everyone's interesting. I don't dislike any of the characters. Apparently, season 2 is in the works, but I don't know when it's getting released. I know OVAs are out this month. At least one is.
So where you got up to, did it feel like it needed a season 2, or did it feel like a contained story?
It feels like a contained story, but then you remember that they don't, a lot of the actual big plot elements aren't resolved.
Ah, okay.
But it's a contained story.
Right.
And also, there's stuff like, what happens to this character? Where are we going with this character? How is this relationship going to change? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Who does what? And from what little flicking around I was doing, we covered only about, at the time, maybe 2/3 to 3/3 of what had been published.
Oh, okay.
So there's
is it finished, or is it still going?
No, still ongoing, which is obviously never fun. But it's big. It's a lot of volumes of novels, a decent-sized manga. There's a video game, which is completely original alternate story, which is a visual novel, which I'm going to have to check out. But no, ReZero. It stands for Restart from Zero, for anyone who doesn't get it. I'm not going to tell you anything else. I'm not going to delve into what's disturbing about this. I will say it's basically, if you've seen Higurashi, it's got a lot of similarities, but the difference is hope.
Mm-hmm.
There is a real hope spot in this show. There is a real sense of eventually it will work out.
Yeah, there's not that in Higurashi.
No, there is a sense of Higurashi of, oh God, what did they do to their face? But you told me what episode, because you're watching it as well, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm up to episode 16.
Which is not an episode really. There is a period in the show where you do wonder about that hope spot.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And I don't want to go on any further because I'll just get into spoilers. Check it out, seriously. If you like anime, if you just like a really well-told story, that is very aware of its own tropes.
Are you worried that a season 2 might ruin it? Like it won't
Not
be
really.
It won't be as good as the show that you've seen?
Not really, because this show ended up having a very strict formula in how its episode blocks played out. You expected a certain thing to happen every couple of episodes, and then there would be the next block, you know?
Yep.
And it managed to do that without once boring me, making me think this is repetitive, okay, whatever. It used it in a way that I liked, and used it as a way of telling plot without having to exposit too much. If the telling quality keeps going as it is, if there's not like a massive drop off, that's what it would have to be. But like, they've got some good stuff to work with.
Yeah,
because they're like, there's one character clearly shifty. We don't actually spend much time with them.
Okay.
There's other characters who are really funny and engaging, and we spend more of them. And how are relationships changing following the ending, because it's a big thing there as well. And it's just like, no, I want to see where we're going. Yeah, that's me.
That's you doing.
Yep.
Well, I did a few things this week. Not a huge amount of interesting things. I watched The Exorcist for the first time. The 1973 Exorcist.
That's random.
Have you seen it? Well, it's coming up to Halloween, and I thought to myself, well, I should probably watch it. It's a classic, as it were. Have you seen it before, Mikey?
Ooh, long time ago.
I was shocked with how long it was. I did not know it was 2 hours and 12 minutes long. And the pacing is very much a 70s movie, shall we say. It's painfully slow. It's a super slow burn, but there's not much atmosphere and tension compared to what I'm used to, obviously, because I'm used to more modern films and more modern film pacing and that lot of stuff. So I think it was slightly damaged by the fact that it has been parodied so much as well, that I knew a lot of the stuff that was coming. I think for the time it's fine for the time, but I don't think it's anything special by today's standards. If you get what I'm saying, it's fine. I don't think I'll go back and watch it again. It was interesting enough to watch though, so I did that.
Yeah,
that was fine. I watched Konosuba season 2. Everyone's still trash, Mikey.
No,
everyone.
I mean, good.
Everyone's still trash. My only issue was there was no real Megumin story arc. They had a story arc for everybody else but her, and I was like, boo, boo, because she's best girl, because she can blow you up with magic.
Yeah.
But no, it again made me laugh quite a lot, and not a lot of animes will make me laugh, but Konosuba is really good at tickling those funny bones, I think.
Yeah, well, you are joyless.
I am fairly. So you can tell how good the show is if it gives me joy. I'm not going to spoil any of the jokes or anything like that, just because you should watch it. It's stupid and fun, and I recommend it if you want to laugh and if you want to have someone step on the idea of the tropes for the Isekai series. But Mikey, I will mention that the toads come back for an episode. The giant toads.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They come back.
Oh.
One episode very briefly, but it's like, hey, I remember this. Oh no. Not again. I also watched the very controversial at the moment Goblin Slayer episode 1.
Okay, so all I know, I looked it up during the week, and all I know is that their names are like the adventurer names.
Yeah, because I've only got one episode in, it's too early to say. It's too early to say anything about it, but everybody's freaking out because there was some very unpleasant scenes, and it's a bit violent. In terms of the violence, I think, yo kids, have you even watched 90s OVA movies or 80s anime OVA movies? Do you remember those ones? Fist of the North Star, need I mention more? Yeah, those are violent. This isn't violent in comparison to that. It's unpleasant and it's dark, but it's really not that bad. And again, if you've seen Berserk, I'd say if you've seen Berserk, there isn't much that should really faze you in anime, I don't think. And I don't think this didn't for me. Is it good? I don't know. It's one episode. it's okay for what it is, I guess. I don't want to judge a series by one episode, especially as episode 1 is usually an establishing episode. But it looked okay. I'm interested to see more. I want to see what's up with these characters in this world and learn more about it and all that kind of bobbins. And like yourself, I've been watching ReZero. Today, I didn't have a huge amount on, and I was just being lazy, so I thought I'd just pop those lovely anime pills and start going through the show. And it's been entertaining. It's been fun. Rem, best wife, best girl. Fight me.
Rem's amazing.
Yep, best girl. I don't know why he's so fixated on what's her name, silverhaired lady. I'll be like, fuck that girl.
I did find out one spoiler further on, because I just did what I usually Googled, and I think that by the looks of it, the story takes an interesting take on the whole 2 girls 1 guy thing.
Okay.
Or at least conceptually. I don't know. Like I said, I don't actually know how any of it plays out, but I did just basically, I ended up Googling a character after I'd seen them in an episode, and it's just like, and then this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, slight spoiler, but I'm actually more intrigued than anything ruined for me.
So when you say spoiler, you mean spoiler for the manga and future season, potentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever that may or may not be.
Yeah. So maybe I'll read the book. I'll read the books or the manga or something. I want to watch this. The acting in this show was really good.
Yeah, the animation's nice as well. It's pretty solid. I haven't finished it yet, but I've seen a good chunk of it. I'm halfway through now, so I think that's fairly easy to say that it's worth a watch. I don't know what to watch after it's done though. Once it's gone, I'm like, I don't know what are the things I need to watch that I haven't seen before. So that are available. Oh, I watched Build as well. I finished off Kamen Rider Build. That was okay.
Not as a huge fan.
It wasn't that I wasn't a huge fan. I would rate it as it's good. The problem is we've came off Exade, which was amazing, and now we've just gone down to it's an okay show. It's not egregious, it's not bad, it's not terrible, it's not bland. It's just that was a good, entertaining viewing. I will watch it again, but I don't feel like I need to go back to it anytime soon, if you know what I mean. Like Exade, I watched fairly recently, because it's that's fun. Gaim and O's, there, and Exade are kind of my go-to ones for this season, or this era of Kamen Riders. This is more in the... It's above mediocre. It's in that good section. I would probably watch Double over this, but it would be very close behind Double, I feel.
Yeah.
But it's way better than Wizard and Ghost and those ones of that ilk, at least in my eyes. So I didn't like Evolt's final form, shall we say. I thought it looked silly. It looked very much like here's a generic Kamen Rider monster boss. I didn't think it followed his usual evolution stats, because it didn't look anything like him. So I was like, that's a bit poo. And here's the thing, Mikey. The end of that show, I won't say how it ends, for the people that don't know, but you know how that show ends. You know the very last thing it ends on.
Yeah.
Does that not create more questions than it answers? Because it's just those two doing that, and yet throughout the show, we know that it's been other characters doing that as well.
Don't think about it. It's fine.
In a world where none of those people would know those guys anymore.
It's fine.
What?
It's
no.
fine.
No.
No. Don't think about it.
Doesn't work. They broke it. But I liked it. Fun. And of course you had somebody's Kamen Rider mask getting broken, because of course you do. And I also dispute the fact that they could hear the crowd up on that tower with the wind going and a black hole going, and they could still hear the people from down below. I'm like, that's bollocks. Sound doesn't work like that.
Hang on, didn't they do an episode of a show where the crowd starts screaming and then the guy is powered by magic wind?
Are you referencing Double?
That was Double.
Okay. See, I was just going off of sound waves. Sound can't travel up that high, and there's black hole going. That's going to cause some wind, so it's going to disperse that sound a bit more. But they can hear them clearly and perfectly. And there wasn't thousands and millions of people. There was probably 8,000?
8,000.
8,000. Probably not enough. I don't know. In terms of what I got this week, I got another Warhammer book. It was the Codex Adeptus Custodes, which are the Emperor's kind of personal guard. So it's nice and golden, and it's got some fancy models in, and it'll be an interesting read at some point. And for the most part, I've just been working more on my Thousand Suns models and painting them up, which is taking a very, very long time, but I think are okay at the moment how they're coming out. So that's pretty much been my week, Mr. Mikey. And I think that's a good place to wrap up this show, sir. That'll do us for this week. It's a shorty, but there's nought to talk about, so there's no point dragging it out. Oh, there is one thing though, Mr. Mikey. We did get a question.
Oh.
I can't remember. It doesn't say specifically how it was sent, but it came through my email, so it might have been on the Moonbase 2 forums. It might have been left on the Libsyn thing, but it comes from Leo King. Leo with an O, with a 0 instead of an O. And the message goes, "Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. I'm sure by the time that you get this, you'll have talked about the studio's triggers. About the studio trigger the love letter to Mikey, which is correct. That's what we've been doing. Ironically, discovered a week after he says he wants to make a new show, make a new season for the Japanese Transformer anime. You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Mikey. Apparently."
If only I could make that power combine Hasbro with sense.
See, I wouldn't call you a wizard. I'd call you a dirty shaman.
Not shaman, shaman.
Shaman.
There's no shame here.
Are you no Shaman King?
Shaman King, shaman king. That was the one time 4Kids did a decent dub, and didn't edit.
Didn't they only get like one season?
It was only one season.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. But it was like at the end of 4Kids run, and they stopped giving a shit, so they edited things a lot less.
Nice.
So like, hey, I remember randomly turning on an episode, and like it's one of the big monster spirits literally eating another one alive.
Oh, nice.
Like,
see, I didn't get that far. I kind of quit around the first episode because I was just like, eh.
And then at the end, it's just like 4Kids, and I'm just like, what about Yayo?
No.
One Piece. Andy, rap. Everything's rap. All must be rap.
It goes on to say, but this got me thinking. If a Japanese anime studio is making references to a fun pub line like Shattered Glass, something more or less exclusive to the US, exclusive to the US, does that mean that the more hardcore Japanese collectors import US exclusives the way that we do theirs? Are the con and club exclusives highly sought after in Japan? And do you think that it may have influenced the hashtag move towards more brand unity? Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Interesting one. I can tell you that there's definitely a way of getting con toys in Japan, because that picture I mentioned earlier on of the Studio Trigger Sakamoto at work, in his gigantic piles of everything, and like when I say piles, the guy, if he moves too far left, it's all going to come down in his head.
Yeah.
It is precariously balanced.
Yeah.
Is a Shattered Glass Megatron. That is in there. I think there's another Shattered Glass in there. I'm sure that they're as collectible over there as they are here. If you go on Mandarake, sometimes you can find Bakon stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they've got eBay as well, and they've got Amazon Japan, and I'm sure they have ways and means to get these things as well, so... I'm not sure how easy it is for them, because it's
import prices and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's probably just as difficult for them to get stuff over on their end as it is for us to get their stuff over here, I would imagine.
But there's also stuff like there's a big comic following over in the Japanese fandom.
Oh, yeah.
Despite the fact that comic-wise they're only in the middle of the ongoing, I believe, officially.
Which ongoing?
Official releases. The ongoing.
Oh, God.
That ongoing.
Oh, wow.
But there sure are a lot of Japanese fans who have read More Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise.
I think I heard some people, some of the creators saying that they've had Japanese fans tell them that they have been learning English through reading the IDW comics. Is that something you've heard as well?
Yeah, some people, there's two ways of getting it. They get imported over and they read them, or they buy them online. Or they do it a lot of, because if you don't know, manga, a lot of mangas are never released here. So what you have are like fan translation groups. They're called scanlation groups. It's similar to what you see with a lot of animes that don't get or before Crunchyroll and other sites took over a lot of the stuff. And what happens is they write up their own translations and they release them over here, and we read, you can read stuff that you'd never be able to read other ways. And conversely, some comics get the same treatment, and Transformers have been getting that treatment for a while. So I think there's quite a healthy hardcore fandom. Whether I think that, I think the Legends thing, or the doing away of Legends in favor of brand unity, probably had more to do with savings and also popularity, because I think they did something similar when the movies started being a thing.
What do you mean?
Remember right? I think there was a bit more of a brand unity push.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything special for the longest time with at least the Revenge of the Fallen stuff, right?
Wasn't until you hit Lost Age, which was the Age of Extinction stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got some good stuff. But, yeah, I think what I think everywhere. The Japanese fandom is basically the guys you see at a con there are the guys you'd see at a con here.
Yeah.
Bit of a different background. They have much better shopping for nerd stuff. But, that's what brings us all together. I've seen Keizama. Keizama would blend in anywhere on an English con because she's insane.
Here's a question for you, Mikey. With the brand unity thing, I think it's more likely that the Western market might have been the reason for it. I have a feeling more Western fans would have gone and bought the Japanese stuff than vice versa.
Especially since it was just, there weren't even Japanese boxes made. I wonder how, Power of the Primes was a disaster as a line. They're good toys, but as a marketing experience, it was just awful.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Japanese releases are the American toys with stickers on them, with Japanese labels, that says to me this was short notice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything about that line was short notice, it seemed.
There's definitely a vibe to me that someone in Hasbro put their foot down.
Yeah.
And did it in the either because they thought this is a way of having a cheaper product, or they wanted to make sure that people are shopping where they tell them to shop.
Mm-hmm.
There's other parts of that question as well, but Andy, what's your take on the whole kit and caboodle?
No, I would agree with you. I think it's interesting in a way, because I don't think obviously about the Japanese market to buy Transformers, because I think of it really as a Western thing. But it is quite nice to know that there are people, in other countries that are interested in these things as well, and it shows that our fandom is worldwide, and it isn't just locked into the Western world. It's like it is a worldwide thing. No, it's fascinating. It's interesting. I think we've had a couple of talks in the past, like years and years ago, when we felt pretty bad for the Japanese fan, because the only way they could get some specific figures were to order them from online, right?
Yeah, and especially before Mandarake, that was not a fun time, guys. Because Japanese nerddom, the otaku culture there, if when it comes to imports and expensive stuff, they will rip you the fuck off. And I remember that. I used to see some prices on Japanese websites for some toys, and it was nuts. It was absolutely insane. Mandarake and the more unified global nature of shopping really had a big effect on that, but still, nerding out in Japan is more expensive than nerding here in general. I mean,
I think another thing is it's difficult to guess what the Japanese market would want from the exclusive brands, because I mean, clearly the guys on Gridman, they want that BotCon stuff, which is dead now, effectively, for the most part.
I have a feeling like if you went into Akira Memiya's office, apart from the fact you probably have to climb over piles of paper or something, going by the workspace he's sharing. There's just every shattered glass toy on a shelf with lights and sounds. If anyone gets too close, motion sensors go off.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And he just pops up from his like, what are you touching?
No touchy.
And it just goes back down. But I think it's like we look for toys sometimes from the old days of convention collecting and stuff. Try get hold of one of the Transformer collectibles from very early BotCon. It's a nightmare. I try doing that then, and then add the international shipping and everything else on top of it.
Yeah.
being a fan when you want to shop for really weird stuff is a nightmare.
Yeah,
no matter what country you're in.
You've got to pay for that obscurity.
I actually take a great comfort in the fact that somewhere in Japan there's someone else who's getting as frustrated with websites as I am.
Bullshit! I wonder if there are Japanese fans as well who prefer the American releases over the Japanese releases of things.
Yeah, well, I
would be surprised. Maybe, but
if you're big into your toy side of things.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because if you want the more toy accurate stuff, then that is the way you'd go, rather than what I've always said is I'm more the toon dude.
Yeah, absolutely. But we know plenty of Westerners who would be like, "Oh, I want my Soundwave with yellow eyes."
That's true. Yeah,
and I was just like, "You're
They're
crazy."
wrong.
Yeah, you're insane. I guarantee you, there's a Japanese fella desperate for a yellow-eyed Soundwave.
Yeah, probably.
He's got a sound blaster and he's just like staring at it with just venom. Nothing about you is right.
Like a turd in the wind.
Yeah. Oh God, I still haven't seen that.
All right.
Those reviews are getting weird.
It's very up and down.
But the review tone is about like, oh, what a massive success. Our takeaway is, it's all right.
Yeah.
How is that? I don't think that qualifies as massive success.
It's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
Was there more to the question? Because I don't want to leave out stuff.
No, I think that was pretty much it. I think we've covered it for the most part. So thank you again. If you want to send us emails, Mikey, where can people send the messages to, and then we can wrap up this show.
Yeah, you can send us an email over on themoonbase2@gmail.com. You can also send us a contact over on Patreon if you happen to be one of our patrons. To be honest, if you send either Andy or me a DM, we'll probably consider it a message and not chase you off with a stick. Mm-hmm. Well, I won't. But if you want to send me anything, it's over on Irish Paleo on Twitter and GWolf3 on YouTube. I still can't get that right. And also, apparently, you can come to me for your lottery numbers because I am a prophet.
Oh?
I have seen the future, and the future is anime.
Yes.
Who could have foreseen that I was the gifted one? But yeah, support us on Patreon. Give us things. Keep an eye out for extra shows. Hopefully have the next IDW retrospective recorded by the end of the month.
Sweet.
Yeah. And also we should be able to get the comic show out next week.
Yay! There'll actually be the comics out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay.
Andy, what about yourself?
You can find me on Twitter and CCTFW. You can find me on YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Libsyn. We're on YouTube as the Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. You can find us on the RSS feeds and all that jazz that Mikey's mentioned as well. You can find this podcast on the ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to go through that way and do that kind of stuff. And like Mikey said, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and do $2 each month, and you'll get From the Files Teletran 2 earlier and extended. You'll get Moonbase Woo Woo each month as well. This will be a Halloween-themed one this month when me and Matthew do it, because I plan to do it with him. What else? If we do any interviews or any specials, they'll be out early as well, because I've got one that you and a certain individual did, which I still need to edit at some point.
You suck.
I know. Mikey, that's us done for this week, sir. We're done.
Done. And Iron Fist is getting cancelled.
No, it was so good.
The first of the Netflix Marvel falls, guys. Will it start a domino effect?
You need to ramp up your game, not settle for mediocrity, Netflix. I feel that's what they did.
Do you want to hear the press release? Because it's something like most of it's just like, and we've cancelled the show, blah 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 blah. However, while the series on Netflix has ended, the immortal Iron Fist will live on.
Ew.
Your show's over. Let it go. Your show wasn't very good.
That's a bit lame.
It wasn't a good show.
Wasn't for me anyway. Until next week, everybody. We will catch you next time.
Wasn't good for anyone. It was just sucky.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.